Hi, welcome back to Permission to Organise with me, Amy, and Pro Organiser Academy. In today's episode, we're talking about the truth about creating scalable income in your professional organising business, what it really takes, and why so many professional organisers get stuck, and how you can set yourself up for success without wasting months or years on trial and error. But just before we get into that, a couple of really important things. So, if you have ever purchased anything or been given free access to anything via Pro Organiser Academy, so course, masterclass program, downloadable or whatever, you really need to look out for an email that has gone out today. It's really, really important about access because if you were on the old platform, which is Circle, then that access is going to cease completely from Thursday. So you just need to look at that email. That isn't the email that's going to have your access to the new platform. You'll get different emails coming from the new platform, and you may get a flurry of emails depending on how many things you've purchased or enrolled from Pro Organiser Academy. So just keep a lookout for those as well. But the email that was sent out has got all the information in there, so please do have a look at that. It's very exciting. This is everything to do with this like gigantic tech move that we've been doing. And then a bit of an update. So, oh my goodness. So last night, my ex bought Ofty home. She'd been with him for a couple of days, and he basically said, we've pretty much emptied the house. Like, he runs a storage company basically, so a lot of it has gone to storage, but a lot of it has also gone to my granny's house because she lives near my mum. This is why also, hilariously, I'm recording this podcast in a different way, and it currently has video on it. I don't know if the video is going to go live or not. Who knows? But if you can see, I'm upstairs in my dressing room, and like all of that bank of wardrobes has gone, and the walls need repainting. Oh my God. It's looking a bit like hectic at the moment. But anyway, he was like, oh, is there anything else I can take to get ready? Because we still have an exchange, but I think it's going to happen like, maybe this week, probably next week. The house is like basically empty. But anyway, those wardrobes there, the buyers want to keep, but the other ones they didn't. So that was happening. And I was just thinking, it's been a whole year since we split up. I literally cannot believe like it's been a whole year. I feel like it's gone so fast. Like it just doesn't feel like that at all. And obviously like a lot of that time we've been dealing with the blooming housegate, which has also been going on for almost as long as that. We pretty much put the house on the market when we split up on holiday. Hilarious. So it's been like a lot. But I was just thinking afterwards, like, oh my God, so much has happened in a year. Literally cannot believe it. I could go off on an absolute tangent here, and this episode is already going to be very long, I think. It was just amazing to me. Like, my whole life has completely transformed. This is also such a just interesting thing with the mindset shift, because I mean, my brain has totally transformed as well in a year. I mean, even 6 months, but a year, just I'm so different now from where I was a year ago. And that is all down to mindset and energy work, all of it. I was just like, what the hell? It's just crazy. But yeah, it really just got me thinking as well about like how we view time in business, because sometimes it can feel like things just aren't moving fast enough, or like you're not getting the results that you want quickly enough, or you're maybe looking at another organizer and feeling like they're miles ahead, or whatever it is. Like our brain, oh my God, noisy. And I get it. Like, and it can really knock your confidence. Equally, you might be thinking, oh my God, I've done so much in a year, and amazing. Like, I hope that's the case. But I just want to say, because I obviously help my one-to-one clients on a really intense and deep level, and I really help them with the mindset piece. But sometimes I talk to my clients and it's not all roses, right? Like, oh my God, in my own coaching sessions with my coach, like half the time I'm crying. Like, I literally cry more in coaching than I do in therapy. It's wild, but it's just because there's so much personal growth involved. Sometimes my clients are like, oh, like I really wanted to do this or this, and I just feel like really overwhelmed, or like this person is ahead. And they're the things that I catch them with and I help them. That's why it's so helpful to have like the back pocket support whenever you need. But it's just something that I kind of just wanted to mention, because if you're not quite where you want to be yet, like instead of beating yourself up about it, step back and ask, like, what do I actually want for a start? What are my goals? And how can I actually start pushing myself forward from here? Because so often we're the ones holding ourselves back, right? Well, in fact, arguably 100% of the time, but for all sorts of reasons like mindset, fear, overthinking. And that is exactly what we're also going to be diving in later into this episode. But before we go into that, I just want to say, if you're not feeling great right now about where you are in your business or even your life, because life and business are inseparable, then I'm just sending you so much love and encouragement because you are honestly doing better than you think. We are our own worst critics and enemies. And especially if you're a high achiever and, you're really hard on yourself all the time. You're like, oh, I should be further along. I should be further along. But just honestly, I promise you're doing better than you think. And everyone, no matter how amazing it looks like someone's doing, everyone has hangups. Like everyone has issues. So like never ever think that someone else's life is perfect or, whatever. So many things can be going on. Now, if one of your business goals for 2025 or for next year is to have more freedom and make more money in your business, then this is what you need to hear. Creating a virtual offer online is really not about just whacking together a digital product in Canva, slapping 27 quid on it. I say 27 pounds because I happen to always use the 7 at the end, and hoping people buy, or like jumping on whatever kind of random trend you saw on Instagram, or, you get these digital marketers and they're like, oh yeah, I just made like 50 grand in 3 seconds from this one $7 product. And it's like, oh, lots went into that in the back end, believe me. But if you want to scale sustainably, it has to be strategic. And this is where most organizers get tripped up, because when you're used to in-home work, like if you've just been helping people in-home decluttering and organizing, that process is really, really simple, right? You market, you book a session, you deliver it, you get paid. It's very simple. You know what you're doing, right? You're an expert in it. There's no real complication. But scaling online, whole different game. You've got to think about the bigger picture. What's the actual income goal you're aiming for? What does your audience genuinely need and want? Not just like, what do you fancy creating? What's your energy capacity? Because, for example, building a membership while you're already flat out with clients is a recipe for absolute disaster. Memberships, whole other thing. I might talk about that in an episode, but it kind of needs a whole episode in itself. And how do you line all of that up so that it actually makes sense long term? So here's a real example, and I have a feeling I may have kind of sort of talked about this in the last episode, so hope I'm not like repeating myself too much. If someone said to me, for example, like I want to hit a 5K month, as in like not in-home clients for entirely virtual or digital online business, and their idea was to sell like a £10 PDF, I will lovingly say good luck because it's not impossible, but you would need to sell 500 of those every single month. That is a full-blown freaking marketing machine, right, that you would need. Like, that's crazy. But on the other hand, if you want to create a one-to-one program at 2K, for example, I'm just plucking random numbers here out of thin air, and you already have people in your audience who trust you, well, I would say, yeah, if you're working with me, you could probably fill that in a week, right? And if you're sitting here thinking, but surely it's easier to sell a £10 product than a 2K product, honestly, it's not. In fact, it's actually often far easier to sell a higher ticket offer. Why? Because people buying at that level are actually serious. They're committed. They're not like impulse buying or forgetting about it. They're ready for a real transformation. And they also know the value of getting proper support. You don't need a huge audience. You just need the right people. Now, I'm not saying that if you've got a small audience and you suddenly decide to offer this like 2K product with no strategy around it to an audience that isn't warm, then I'm not saying that's going to be easy. But the point is, different offers require different approaches, and also the order that you do things in really, really matters. Over the years, as I've said before, I've literally tried like arguably pretty much everything there is in terms of online business. I've obviously had launches that have done well. I've had launches that haven't done well. I've made expensive mistakes. I've had big wins, all of the things. And everything that I've learned has taught me what actually works and what to avoid. And because seriously, the amount of people I see like trying to do something or make something work, and I'm just sat there being like, that's not going to work, or like, that's not easy. And they're just carrying on going with it. And honestly, like this is why so many organizers just waste so many months getting nowhere, because they create something without knowing how to fit all the pieces together. And there's a lot of different things that you need to do in a right order. But for example, like when to build your email list and start sending emails, at what point in your launch to drop the wait list, like how to align your lead magnet to the kind of client who's actually ready to invest, how to warm people up before you launch so your audience isn't hearing about your offer for the first time on day one of your like open doors kind of thing. All of those steps, and there's so many more, have to happen in exactly the right order If you get the order wrong, the whole thing can fall flat. And this is exactly what I walk you through inside Scale with Amy. You don't have to piece it together from a random YouTube video or a PDF or from someone that doesn't understand the decluttering industry. You get the exact sequence laid out week by week over 12 weeks. So you know exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to also do it properly. So you're not wasting time or pulling your hair out. Because the reality is, scalable freedom and income isn't a one size fits all. It's often not fast, and it's definitely not fast when you're starting from scratch and have absolutely no idea what you're doing. But when you've got both the mindset piece and the strategy working together at the same time, that is when things start to click and when big, exciting things happen and you actually start making some money around here. Obviously, it's built for the decluttering industry, not a random like online business person who has no idea about decluttering and they design strategies for influencers or business coaches or people selling leggings on Shopify. Is actually designed for you. For professional organizers and declutter coaches who've actually built their businesses in homes, garages, lofts, wardrobes, and now you want to scale. Because I've seen what happens when you don't. One of my one-to-one clients told me that when we were working together that she'd previously joined quite a big online program, one that's like advertised all over Facebook and Instagram. And she did say that she learned a lot, but she never finished the program. She never got anything fully set up and she felt really like bad about it, really guilty. She felt like she'd wasted her money, nothing to do with the person who was running the program, how she felt about herself. And it wasn't because she was lazy or she doesn't care, like far, far from it. She was really like, not happy with herself about it. She wanted to do it, but she didn't have the confidence yet. The program that she joined was 100% strategy, absolutely zero mindset or energy, definitely not even mindset. No support to actually help her become the person who could pull that off. So there's all this strategy. Well, what do I do with that? If you're feeling like not confident or like you couldn't show up or you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not going to do it, right? And not to mention, there were also hundreds and hundreds of people inside this program. So, you're never going to get the help you need. And that was the missing piece. And since working together one-to-one, her confidence has absolutely skyrocketed. My goodness. She's done all the inner work that I've told her to. I've helped her with it. And when she found out that I was running Scale with Amy, she decided that this was her next step because she was ready after all the work we've done together. And I am so excited to work with her inside the program because it's the perfect fit for where she is now. Also, that particular client, like she really needs help with the kind of technical like setup and the real like step-by-step walkthrough. And if that's you, then this is exactly what you need because one-to-one coaching, although I can help you with stuff like that, is not like the best use of the time for high-level one-to-one coaching. Whilst for my client, it was exactly the right thing that she needed to do at the time. Scale with Amy is now her best next step because it's got everything laid out. And that's the thing as well. I always help my clients and potential clients to figure out exactly what they need because I don't want anyone to be doing the wrong thing. I wouldn't have wanted to say to her, carry on one-to-one coaching when actually Scale with Amy was exactly the right thing. So I help with that as well. If you've been listening to my podcast or follow me and you're kind of like, oh, I really want to work with you, but I'm not sure exactly what to do, then ask me and I will help you decide. So that's exactly why I don't just do strategy. It's strategy plus mindset, both, because one without the other is honestly why so many organizers and business owners just completely fall off the wagon and just never get the results that they're desperate for. And if you're listening thinking, yeah, okay, Amy, this sounds great, but what even is a scalable offer? Because I know I've been talking about this, and if you don't know what it is, maybe you don't know. So like, what would I actually sell? So I want to give you some ideas. So you could run a live group coaching container like decluttering, organizing, mindset, home staging, move preparation, whatever it is. There's so many different options. Oh my goodness, it's really exciting because you can do exactly what you want. You could do it over like 4 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever fits you. You could create like a toolkit or some sort of a bundle, like a capsule wardrobe guide, or you could make it bigger. You could do whatever it is. A bundle could have multiple different things in it, or like a family declutter kit. You could do like done for you templates, swipe files, or scripts. So things like conversation guides to help kids or partners with clutter, or decluttering planning templates. There's so many different options. You could do a paid workshop or a seasonal challenge, or you could do even like audio or video products, guided meditations. I've created lots of these, and there's a few of them in Scale with Amy as well. And also my one-to-one clients will be getting access to those meditations and rampages as well. You could even go into corporate, so like a digital file organization training for teams or wellness workshops, like anything where you're helping more than one person at a time. And obviously, you could do membership, subscriptions, hybrid courses. And I'll be honest, some of those things sound easier than they actually are. Like memberships, for example, are an anomaly. Like I said, I could do a whole episode on that, but you do have to be very careful and strategic. Otherwise, they can drain you more than they free you and often end up costing you money rather than making you money. I've experienced all of it with memberships, but that's exactly why inside Scale with Amy, we go into all of this in real depth so that you can make sure that you choose the right model for you. By the end of it, you actually come out with an offer that really works for your life and everything surrounding that. So it's like a holistic approach. And it's something that you really enjoy delivering as well, because it's not just about building the product and selling it. It's also about delivering it. It's a bit different if it's like a digital PDF or something, but if it's anything to do with you're going to be there, then you need to want to deliver it as well. And you'll also get an entire PDF of different offer ideas to spark inspiration. It's not about throwing spaghetti at the wall. So in week 1, we get laser focused on your ideal client for this offer. And let me tell you, ideal client for a scalable program is not the same as your ideal client for in-home work. We also go deeper into something that I call your expansive client as well. And so these are the people who are ready or almost ready, but they're in kind of the right mindset. Like they know they need your offer, they're willing to invest. And when you design that around them, then you create an offer that's really specific and so aligned. And honestly, like it practically sells itself. So I obviously can't teach you the full how here because that's what we're going to learn inside Scale with Amy. And that's over 12 weeks, not 30 minutes. But I want you to understand the power of it. Like when you know your expansive client, then you can stop creating generic freebies that attract the wrong people. If you want to actually sell something, you need something that's aligned. And this is the level of clarity that we go into, right? And this is honestly why I'm obsessed with this program. To be honest, in order to sell anything, you have to be obsessed with it. You have to fully 100% believe in the transformation that you're going to provide for your clients or your customers. If you're not fully in it, why is anyone going to buy? They're not, right? Like you have to fully know that it is going to change people's lives. And I do. I have that with all of my programs. It's not just about creating any old offer. It's about creating the one that fits your lifestyle. So one of the things I'm so excited about is this amazing bonus that you're going to get. And it's my Asana project management board template, because clarity of idea is one thing, but the execution is a whole different beast. Having the right scalable offer doesn't mean much if you don't actually have a system to bring it to life without losing your mind in the process. I mean, oh my God, like if you could see the Asana board that me and my team used and are still using to build the full Scale with Amy program itself, I think your jaw would be on the floor. It's massive. And that's not even counting the launch side of it, like any of the content or the marketing around it. That's in a different board. That's literally just the build side. It's big. Every script to write for every single live training, every Canva slide deck for the same thing, to design, to write, to, oh my God, all the different things. Every screen recorded tutorial to create, every other lesson, every workbook to write, design, edit, upload, all the things. It's a lot. All mapped out, assigned to whoever is doing it and scheduled for the right dates. Because when you've got a program this size with this many moving parts and assets, you literally cannot wing it. You need the whole thing to be laid out in front of you. Otherwise, something will go wrong. It just 100% will. You cannot remember everything in your head. I don't want to scare you off with this, by the way. Oh my God. I cannot in a million years imagine that for your first offer, you will be building something anywhere near as big as Scale with Amy. Like, do not freak out. But also, this is why I'm giving you this project management template, because it's just going to make your life so much easier. It's preloaded with like almost every task, but obviously some of the tasks are going to be different to each individual depending on what you're doing. It's all in there with the timeline, what you'll need to do to create your scalable offer and launch it properly as well. So instead of staring at a blank screen thinking like, where the hell do I start? You'll literally have it all ready to go. You'll know what to focus on each week. You'll know when to put out your waitlist. Also, so your waitlist for your conversion event, but also your waitlist for the main offer. There's 2 different waitlists that we cover in this program. And as I said, this is to make your launch the most strategic to get the best results possible. When to build your lead magnet, for example, when to start promoting your live event, when to move on to selling in line with the live training that you're doing. Or also, you don't have to do a live training, but we cover everything. You'll also have like the ease and accountability of your top tier to-do list ready to go without second guessing if you've missed a step. So think of this like your second brain in business, one that's already been organized for you. This is the one thing you don't even need to plan. And obviously it's totally customizable. So you can edit, delete tasks, whatever, relevant to your specific offer that you're creating and launching. Even if you don't have a team yet, this is going to save you hours of time and stress, because Asana isn't just for people managing teams, right? Or projects. It's about helping you think and act like the CEO of your business. You'll have one place where every moving part is mapped out. So you're not just juggling like sticky notes or random like docs or whatever, or half-finished ideas in your head. And if during the program or later down the line, you decide to bring in a VA or an assistant, then you'll already be set up, right? You can literally just add them to your Asana board, or if you're doing it inside the program, and they'll see exactly what's happening without needing to ask you a million tiny, really irritating questions when you're busy. Beyond that, you'll also have the confidence to create other boards for like client projects if you want, or for your content, for anything, literally anything you want to systemize. It's a really powerful tool to get into your CEO headspace, because, you know, if you're just running a business from like your Google Calendar at the moment, that's fine for a bit, but it doesn't work long term. So you need everything. It needs to all work together. So yeah, to just get into that CEO headspace where you're not just doing the work, but you're actually managing and growing a business as well, because we want to think big and we want to think long term, right? So you literally just download it, upload it to your Asana account. Everything is mapped out. And yes, we have instructions for absolutely everything. So don't stress if you're a tech dinosaur. Also, I'm obsessed because Asana, every time you tick off a task, a unicorn and a rainbow flies across your screen. And obviously that's the dopamine hit that I'm obsessed with. I once paid $997 for a plug and play project management system from an online business guru. And do you know what? I went back to my own system because mine worked better. I actually did cry. I'm not going to lie. I spent so long setting this blimmin' thing up and organizing everything. So it was, you know, great, but it was so overcomplicated, total disaster. That was definitely one of my many wasted money failures in business, but always thinking on the positive side. And I always think about what I've learned from things, because that is the best way to be, especially in business. It did at least help me how to learn Asana. Needless to say, when I hired my online business manager and systems queen, Alexandra, she merrily deleted tons and tons of those graveyard Asana projects I'd once spent so long trying to make work. So to avoid that big headache and that waste of money, what you're getting inside Scale with Amy is my brain on strategy and launches distilled into a project planner that's actually been tested and refined through real launches with real results. It's basically organization porn. And if you're a professional organizer, you will love it. But all the systems in the world will not help you if you are still in your own way. What holds so many organizers back is not that they're not good enough, because they are. And it's not that they don't care enough, because they do. And it's not even necessarily that their strategy is wrong or entirely wrong. It could even be completely right. But most of the time, it's their bloody logical brain getting in the way, right? The part of you that insists that it needs to know exactly how something is going to happen or what results it's going to get before it will let you believe in yourself. You know the voice. Oh, yes, I want to be fully booked. I'd love to sell out my digital course, but how will it happen? Where are the clients coming from? What if I do all this and no one buys? What if I look like an idiot on camera? What if a pig flies across the moon and it's a complete disaster, right? Like, and that obsession with the how is sabotaging you completely. I see this every single day. Like, I've had it with myself. I still sometimes get it. Obviously, I'm normal. I have the gremlin in my brain as well. I'm not like void of it because I've done all the work. But manifesting is not complicated, okay? This might be difficult to hear, but manifesting is not complicated. You decide what you want. You assume it's yours. You start acting like the version of you who already has it or has done it. And that's it. Done. But we get our knickers in such a freaking twist over the details. We want to go into full-blown panic mode. But how will it happen? What if I don't understand energy? What if I do it wrong? What if the universe doesn't get the memo? Like, what if I don't understand everything about how it works? The truth is, you don't need to understand how it works. I couldn't sit here and explain the coding and the frequencies behind Wi-Fi, right? But does that stop me from using it? No, because I trust it. I believe it works, because it does. I use it every single day without even thinking about it, or phone signal, whatever you want to call it. It's all frequencies. And it's exactly the same with manifestation. You don't need to have a degree in quantum physics. Yeah, if you want the sciencey stuff, Joe Dispenza can give you a full breakdown of atoms vibrating at different frequencies. But for the rest of us, the point is simple. Everything is energy. That gut feeling you get when you meet someone and instantly know they're an absolute dickhead, energy. The vibe you pick up when a client is stressed before they've even said anything, energy. The way that someone gives you the ick when they're smiling and being nice, it's all energy. I'm getting goosebumps again. I always get goosebumps when I talk about this stuff. But everything you experience is energy, right? It literally is energy. And when you line your energy up with what you want, life, the universe, the world, God, whatever you want to call it, has absolutely no choice but to rearrange itself to meet you there, right? I understand it's hard to get your head around, but this is where law of assumption comes in. You assume it's already yours. When you do that, the universe literally starts putting the pieces together for you. And suddenly, the how it's going to happen, whatever it is, takes care of itself. You know, that looks like the email landing in your inbox from someone asking about your services, the random DM that leads to a dream client that you did not expect when you first woke up this morning, a conversation at the school gates turning into a referral, an old client coming back out of the blue who you probably had an absolute mare over, thinking that you totally offended them or done the worst job in your life and you've been overthinking it for 3 years. Not that that's ever happened to me or anything. Or a friend of a friend inviting you to speak at their event, whatever it is, right? Like the teacher turning up at the precise right time that you need. When your energy is aligned, the opportunities show up. The right people cross your path. The doors swing open in ways that you could never, ever have micromanaged or controlled. Where so many people are going wrong is that they're being too vague. You're asking for things like, oh, I want to make more money in my business. And I'm like, what does that even mean? The universe doesn't do vague. Here's 50p. Well, that's more money. Is that what you meant? Of course not. You wanted 5k months. You don't want an extra freaking 50p. You don't even want one extra client. You want 15 clients, whatever it is, or 10k, or a scalable offer that sells while you're doing the school run. Specificity matters. Decide it. Decide on what you want and then start becoming the version of you who already has it. And that's where the inner work comes in. And honestly, it's the part that so many people want to skip. 9 times out of 10, my one-to-one clients come to me saying, Amy, I need help with strategy. You're amazing with strategy. And yes, we absolutely create the strategy, obviously. I give you everything that you need. But do you know what actually moves the needle first? It's the freaking identity work, guys. Why do you think I talk about this so much? If it didn't work, it's literally how I've changed my entire life. Obviously, yes, you need the strategy to go alongside it. To be completely frank, you are just going to struggle if you don't do this. That's the end of the situation. And this is why, I do not work with clients unless they are prepared to do this, because it doesn't work. You'll just sit there flogging a dead horse for the rest of your life. Whatever. If you want to do that, that's fine. But if you want to actually make moves, then this is what you need to do. The identity work helps you to shift into the person who can actually receive, create, receive, and hold the results you're asking for. Because strategy without belief, noise. That's why you can be busy all week updating all these things, your website header, whatever it is, and still not being fully booked. Because the action isn't backed by belief. And honestly, I say this with so much love because I held myself back for so many years doing exactly that. Hustling, but not trusting. Working hard, but sabotaging. Busy, but not aligned. My brain constantly trying to control every freaking situation and outcome instead of just chilling the fuck out and letting it unfold. Because the truth is, if you think it, if you can literally think it, if you have an idea oh my God, I want to achieve this goal. I want to do this thing. I want to do that. If you can think it, then you can create it. If it's happened for someone else, it can happen for you too. But only if you stop trying to control every step and start embodying the version of you who already has it and start taking some freaking leaps around here, stepping out of your comfort zone. And again, this is exactly why I built Scale with Amy. Because yes, You need to know how to build the scalable offer, launch it, market it, but you also need the mindset conditioning. Without the belief, without the identity shift, you'll just create yourself another to-do list and you'll wonder why you're not making any money. That's why when you join before the 7th of September, you'll get a bonus, entirely bonus prep week. So success activation week, a whole week of rewiring your brain for success, helping you move out of the how will it work mode into, well, this is inevitable. Obviously, it's going to happen. That's the mode that you need to be in. Because the difference between an offer that doesn't do well and one that sells out isn't just the funnel, it's the energy you bring to it. Because when you combine all of that together, that is when things stop feeling like really freaking hard work and actually start flowing. And that's what my one-to-one clients experience. And that's exactly what we're creating inside this program. So the next time your brain kicks off with, but how does it work? Remind yourself, you don't need to know how the Wi-Fi works because you trust it already. Same as gravity. You don't just get out of bed one day and freaking float off across the room because gravity decided not to work. It's everything is law. Law of attraction, law of assumption, whatever. It's all bloody law. And like manifestation, guys, is not something that just randomly came out when freaking Roxy Nafusi started talking about it. This has literally been around for millennia. It's in the fucking Bible, guys. Like, seriously, oh my God. You are the creator of your life. You are God. Whew, I'm getting emotional about this because, it just works. You don't need to understand the science behind the universe to let it deliver. You just need to decide that you're doing something and then believe it and start being the woman or man who already has it. So that means doing the inner work, getting really honest with yourself, deciding what's holding you back. For example, is not exercising, is that holding you back? Is drinking holding you back? Do you need to stop that? Do you need to stop doing something? Or do you need to start doing something? Do you need to start eating better? Do you need to stop eating chocolate? Do you need to, I don't know, all the different things? Like, do you need to stop complaining? Do you need to stop feeling jealous of other people? Like, what is it? Right? It's becoming the person. It's not difficult. It's not rocket science. You just need to get honest with yourself and you need to get self-awareness. And then you can make everything change and you will literally unlock the doors to all the abundance that you could ever imagine in your life, right? As long as you are staying focused. So after all of that, the doors to Scale with Amy are now open. So you can join. You do still need to go through the opt-in thing. So just click to sign up. It's obviously free to sign up for the opt-in and then you'll get some information and then it will give you access to the enrollment page to get all of the information. You can see what's included. You can see all the bonuses, absolutely everything. You can see all the dates and get an informed decision. Obviously, if you have a question about it, please feel free to ask me and I will tell you if it's a yes or a no for you. As you know, I'm always honest. I don't want anyone to do something that's not right for them because believe me, that's harder for me too. So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Permission to Organize. And if you loved it and you want more, make sure you're subscribed so that you never miss an episode. And if you're ready to step into the next version of your business, the link is in the show notes. Doors are now open and spaces are very limited because it is small and high touch so that you get the help that you need. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please come and tell me on Instagram, tag me in your stories, Pro Organiser Academy, with your biggest takeaway. And if you feel motivated and if you needed that pep talk, it will help more organisers find the podcast and get the support they need too. And I will reshare it as well. So thank you so much for listening. I will see you in the next episode. Have a gorgeous week.